there and welcome back to Japan, where I'll be giving you a reaction and review to Open Up My Heart by The Winking Owl. And as always, this is the review video. If you want to see the reaction, first of all, the reaction that I just did, pause this video, click the little link in the description below. It'll open up a separate little YouTube player where you can watch the song with me if you haven't heard it before, or if you just want to see the way I reacted when I heard it for the first time. But I have now just heard it for the first time, and therefore I'm about to give you a review. Are you ready for the review? I can't speak anymore. Here comes the review. Don't say I didn't warn you. Alright, so, as I say, there's a lot to unpack on this one. First and foremost, though, I must say I'm glad this was recommended. I get the feeling this was recommended sort of knowingly of some of the music styles I have a little bit of a, shall we say, a warmth towards. I very much grew up with the music that was around when I was growing up was kind of a pop punk era. A lot of that sort of simple but catchy rock and pop music was kind of what was around when I grew up. So yeah, I have a leaning towards anything that just has a good pop sensibility and yet at the same time has enough energy and integrity to actually be something engaging and not just cheap and throwaway. This therefore played a lot to the things that I enjoy most. Now, if I just sort of cover why that is, first of all, we have to say, what a really great catchy chorus. This is one of those ones that comes into the category where I've got to admit, yeah, I can imagine if you hear this chorus too much, it would probably become really annoying because it's so catchy, and yet at the same time, there's nothing in terms of writing particularly clever or particularly out there. It's just they got a good couple of chords and a good melody and they stuck it together. So that kind of chorus in its simplicity can sometimes be both the most catchy but also the ones where after a while it's like, okay, too much. I need to have 6 months away from this song, and then you find it again 6 months later and you go, yeah, this is brilliant, and the cycle repeats. This is definitely one of those. Fantastic chorus. First time you hear the chorus, good. Second time, really good. By the end, you're like, wow, this is drilling a hole in my brain. So, yeah, I really did like that. That has to be said first and foremost. I thought the setup of the song, it followed your sort of normal routine, you know, intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, blah, 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 bridge, solo, chorus, you know, all the usual stuff. I think most of the bits between the choruses were both competent and enjoyable. I mean, I enjoyed the verses. They were nice and easy to follow. They were full of a good energy, as the pre-chorus was. But there was, outside of the chorus, in those bits, there was nothing with, shall we say, too much of an identity. I think if you take to one side the fact that the singer had a wonderful voice, I mean, she had a really fantastic voice, I think it would be fair to say that the verse, you know, outside of that chorus, it could kind of be in any band. You know, there's a lot of bands who kind of could just do that sound. There was nothing identifiably like I say, sort of a signature quality to it. And I think that was slightly amplified. We're always honest on this channel, by the way, even with songs that I really like this one. We have to view it on both sides. I was a bit disappointed by the second verse. Like I say, I thought that in terms of the fact that it being such a simple song, again, in my mind, a positive thing, I kind of thought they would take advantage of that thing that so many, pretty much, it's almost like a trope of Japanese bands, which is you flip up the second verse. You know, you do something just to make the it different, like maybe the second half of the verse you do in sort of stab, so you have a breakdown halfway through, or just a slight production change at some point, or maybe some crazy drum beat comes in, or just, you know, something to flip up the second verse, so it's the same melody that you heard the first time round, but then the backing shifts underneath. It didn't really do that. It just kind of was like a copy paste of the first verse, which, so I felt that there were points where they were missing opportunities to really imprint an identity, to imprint a bit of something interesting and different. Like I said, this doesn't mean twiddle. It doesn't have to be twiddle. So often people think that means, you know, you're suggesting a guitar solo or some sort of crazy virtuoso thing comes in. Just some sort of shifts or things here and there would have been a bit interesting. A lot of credit, though, has to go to the drummer. I thought the drummer did a fantastic job. I really love that. Again, sort of exemplifying exemplifying is a word, isn't it? Exemplifying what I really like in a good musician, which is a musician who has the talent to get the most out of something, but also the humility and sense to realize they're in a band and not constantly be trying to be a virtuoso and pushing themselves to the front. It really started. At first, I just noticed that the 4 on the floor beat, which sometimes, you know, is something where a lot of the time can kind of suck the life out of songs just for the sake of, you know, making it bounce more. In this case, it just kind of really worked for everything. And then I started noticing some of the fills they were putting in, especially when they got into the bridge and towards the end. You know, just the fills were really perfect. They were short, snappy little fills, occasional little hits of extra parts of the kit just to sort of add little things in there. There was just a real sort of nice dynamic to it, just short, sharp little moments where the drums came to life and did something just outside of the expected to accent what was going on, you know, up in the top of the arrangement with the guitars and the vocals and such like. So, yeah, I think just to sort of recap that then, vocalist, really great voice and fantastic melody. Drummer, you know, simple but getting the most out of everything. Good guitar and the bass, nice sound, but there wasn't anything in there that obviously, you know, being a simple rock song, they weren't really doing anything that was going to you know, particularly change the world, but they were very sort of competent, centered to the group. And I like the fact that in the video, you know, you could see they had a lot of rock energy. You know, they were really sort of feeling it, which is great. I love that when you when bands, you know, really sort of play with passion. I don't want, you know, people to do the Oasis thing, just I'm bored, I'm doing this music stuff because I'm a rock star. No, don't be Oasis, rock. And so, yeah, I enjoyed that. I loved the fact they had a good energy, even though it was, like I say, a song that you could tell that probably they could play in their sleep. It was nice to see them enjoying it. So overall, my final analysis of this would basically be that this was a song that, as I say, I really enjoyed. I really would listen to. I think it's a good demonstration of how simple can be brilliant. However, I do think that maybe it could have used a couple more drafts in the writing room, in that the chorus was so good. I think the rest of the song could have given it more support. They could have done just some little interesting things, just something to make, you know, the second verse a little bit different, or just some things to stamp a bit more identity on it, I think would have been good. But overall, that's a small complaint. That's more just me trying to push it from already a song that I really enjoyed to being something a little bit more irreplaceably amazing. Still though, I definitely will be listening to this a lot more. It's still stuck in my head right now as I'm talking to you, and like I said, I would wholeheartedly look forward to listening to more of this band, which I certainly will be doing. So anyway, as always, these are just my opinions as someone who's worked with music for my entire adult life, but music is only as good as it appears to the listener, so please let me know your opinions as well in the comments. Feel free to like, subscribe, follow any of the social medias linked in the description below as well. If you'd like to talk more about Japanese music with anyone in our community, we've got loads of people always talking about music, and that's where I get these recommendations from. And also a big thank you as always to our Patreons for keeping the channel alive, especially with some of the things recently I had to buy to keep the equipment and all of this running so that we can actually save these videos. Thank you guys. And last but not least, just thank you to you for making it through to the end of this video after all that waffle. So until I hopefully see you soon in Japan for the next one of these, for now, ciao ciao.